Let no man deceive you by any means.
Right, you Israelites wasn't supposed to be deceived. The main one that deceived you is who? The so-called white man. Read on.
For that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first.
Right, that day shall not come except there be a what? A falling away first. Before the kingdom was going to be set up, the Most High prophesied that Israel is going to have to fall away, be destroyed, go into slavery, forget their nationality of being Israelites. Read on.
And that man of sin be revealed.
And that man of sin be revealed. That's the so-called white man, which is the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan. Yeah.
He's being revealed right now.
Right, by us. When
Right,
we go
so
out there on the TV show and we slam the picture of the devil down, and we show that all these churches are false, that the Roman Catholic Church is false, that you're not supposed to call him Father.
Right.
All right? We the ones that's bringing it out. We the only ones that's revealing the devil for who he is.
So that means when the time that Christ was on the scene, we didn't know that Esau was the devil.
Israel as a
nation
whole,
did
they
not know.
didn't have the full understanding
Till now.
till now. This is when it's time to be revealed. Right. Okay? But they knew that the so-called white man was the wicked. All right?
But they didn't know he was the devil.
Right, let's read the 3rd verse again. Read that, brother.
Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed.
Right, the man of sin being revealed is the so-called white man. Read on.
The son of perdition.
Right, the son of destruction, the son of hell. Read on.
Who opposes and exalted himself above all that is called the Most High.
Right, and we showed you the picture of the devil. Read on.
Or that is worship,
Go ahead.
so that he as the Most High sitteth in the temple of the Most High.
Anywhere you go to try to find out any churches or temple, you see the white image up there. But now, little by little, black people is beginning to take them pictures down and put up black images. Read on.
Showing himself that he is the Most High.
Right, showing himself that he is the Most High. Now let's go. I would like you to go to the book of Ezekiel 28:1.
The word of the Lord came again unto me, saying, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, Thus saith the Lord power, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am of power.
Right, read it verbatim.
I am a God.
Right, I am a God. This is what the so-called European man said. I am a God. And it said what? It said he exalted himself as what? Being God. So we're going backtracking in the book of Ezekiel 28. Read that again, in the 1st verse again.
The word of the Lord came again unto me, saying, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus.
The prince of Tyrus represent Esau today. It's symbolic representing Esau today in America. Read on.
Thus saith the Lord power, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a God.
Right, the so-called white man said he's a God. He went around saying he's God. What do we read in Thessalonians? That he exalted himself as God. Read on.
I sit in the seat of God.
Right, and like, for example, anytime you go to these churches that the white man set up, he got a picture of himself in the church as being Christ, as being God. Where does the Most High dwell at? It says, heavens is his throne and earth is his footstool. Where's the so-called white man? That's why he's doing the space travel. He says, I sitteth in the seat of God. He's saying that I'm up there in space with the Most High. And this fits the so-called white man. Because we read that in Obadiah about how they made their nest in the stars. Chinese didn't do that. Even though the Chinese came up with the inventions of ballistics and so forth, the basis of making rockets, who was the one that took that and went up into space with it? The so-called white man. The American Europeans and the Russian Europeans. Read on.
In the midst of the seas, yet thou...
The midst of the seas represent the nations in the earth, the different nations in the earth. That's found in the book of Revelations 18 and the 15th verse, round about there. Read on.
Yet thou art a man.
The Most High is going to reveal you that you are nothing but a man. Read on.
And not God.
and not God. You're not God. Now let's go back from there. Let's go back to the book of Genesis, the 4th chapter, and read the verse that you left off at, brother.
The
Because
15th,
we're going to come back to Ezekiel 28 and further read that. Read.
the 15th verse of Genesis, the 4th chapter. And the Lord said unto him, Therefore, whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold.
Right. Whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. That represented what? We read in the book of Psalms 73. It said he is not in trouble as other men. The bands of his death, he doesn't die like we. He doesn't die as much as we do. He is rich. His eyes are full with riches. That was talking about from the white man's renaissance, from the 1400s, late 1400s, up until now. Within the last, I would say, 10 to 15 years, 20 years, the so-called European man have been losing that power of riches and rulership. But prior to that, 20 years ago, the white man was in his power. From the late 1400s up until about 1970, or around there, that's when the so-called white man was in his power. Then after he started sending his ships and his Apollo flights up into space, what war was he in? He was in the Vietnam War. He lost that. He started being brought down. That's why earlier the brother read Obadiah, that when you set your nest up in the stars, that's why I bring you down. You had the gas crisis. The Arabs started attacking you and telling you, Yankee, get out of my land. We lost to the Vietnamese, which were poor farmers. See, so you started being brought down. So you're being brought down now. And the dark nations do not fear you anymore. So you're being brought down according to prophecy of the Most High. Read that verse again. What is that, the 15th verse?
Yeah.
Read on.
And the Lord said unto him, Therefore, whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold.
And they showed you these ancient movies during the Renaissance and the building and the greatness of the white man. When anybody tried to defeat the white man, they were hunted down. They showed you that in Roots, Mandingo, Drums. When you try to escape from the white man, did this black Negro slaves, which are the Israelites, the tribe of Judah, did they have power to take down the white man? They had a couple of groups, such as Nat Turner, that killed a couple of whites. But what happened to Nat Turner and his group? They were caught up with, and they were all hung and put to death. And they put fear in the rest of the Negroes. And it made the so-called Negroes in the Negro slavery even more scared than what they formerly was. So when the white man was in his power, believe me, brother, he was in his power. But now his power is coming down. He's losing his power now. That's why it said, anyone that come up against Cain, which is the so-called white man, it said what? Vengeance shall be taken upon him sevenfold. Read on.
And the Lord set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him.
Right, lest any finding him should kill him. Because people wanted to kill Cain, which is a white man today. Everybody wants to kill a white man now. And that was the same way back there. This is a prophecy of the Lord talking about what's going to happen in the future. That's why it said, anyone that slayeth Cain or the white man now, vengeance sevenfold shall be upon him. But he's losing it now. Read on.
And Cain went out from the presence of the Lord.
Right, because he escaped from justice. He escaped from justice. Even though he rose up and slew his brother Abel, he escaped from justice. That's why the Most High called him a fugitive and a vagabond from the earth. Read on.
And dwelt in the land of Nod.
The land of Nod represent the so-called Caucasus Mountain. That's going up north on the east side of the world, going north up into the caves of the Caucasus Mountains. Read on.
On the east of Eden.
Right, on the east of Eden. That's still on the east side of the world. Read on.
And Cain knew his wife, and she conceived, and bare Enoch. And he built a city, and called the name of the city after the name of his son Enoch.
Right, that was back in the ancient world. But now that city, that great city that they built up, was destroyed in the flood.